Very much. Have a great. All right. IDP Madman here with you, breaking down some film on BJ Ojulari, more name than substance, in my opinion. One day maybe I'll have a slideshow like all these other fancy fellas with their YouTube videos that breaks down, the height and weight and you know good points, pros and cons, negatives. But for now, just gonna do it all off memory and watch the tape along with you guys. It's how I make all my assessments. And for my notes, I just say that he's first of all, I like to assess the tape against the player that I'm assessing or evaluating's best competition or their top competition if they play a lot. Like this is the SEC, so this is the best of the best, the creme de la creme, cream of the crop. And this is Bama. You know what I mean? A national powerhouse for a decade. So they're a little bit of they're notched down from their former glory, that's for sure. George has taken over. Basically, they out recruited them and have been doing so for about 3 years now. Four, I think. I started to talk about the possible decline, but I mean, it's a little bit exaggerated. Bama's still Bama. They're just maybe not uh, quite as powerful as they used to be, and they got a quarterback problem this year. I think. I think this year could be a down year. I could see, maybe four losses, even as blasphemous as that is to say about Nick Saban. I also have a real hot take that maybe he goes to Texas after this year. I don't think he's done yet competitively, and I think uh, that's a real hot take. The percentage of chance of that happening is not great. But anyways, let's get back to BJ Ojulari here. I forgot to set my timer. I probably went a little long, so now I'm gonna do that. If you'll excuse me. From the notes, though, I just got to get to my timer, and I'll put it down to a dozen minutes. Hopefully, I don't go over. I only have 15 minutes with YouTube. Stand-up edge, BJ Ojulari. He can be a little lazy. It's a tendency I've noticed with LSU players. It's basically they have a lot of talented guys, and it sort of borders on over arrogance. And I think that's a big reason why Brian Kelly was hired there. I think that's gonna start to change a bit. I don't think he's gonna allow stuff like that. He's more of a disciplinarian, um, especially more so than Orgeron ever was. But hey, Ed O got a ship mostly because of Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and the boys. But anyways, um, I don't love BJ Ojulari in space, and they drop him into coverage a lot. And I mean, that's the modern game. That's the modern NFL too, and maybe that's why the Cardinals took him. But I mean, he's just too. His change of direction isn't great, and he's not real explosive. He's not. He doesn't have that agility either to be able to. You'll see in this tape. This tape kind of exposes that. But yeah, stop and go, not great. Either as pass rusher or out in space trying to cover running backs and slot receivers and whatnot. I mean, most of the time he's just dropping hook to flat, but still, it's you'll see it shows up on tape. He's got a better bull rush than I anticipated, and he's got pretty good hands, but he doesn't have a wide variety of pass rush moves, and he's easily handled in a lot of ways. He gives up too much of his chest, and he overextends himself sometimes. Like he goes too far. He goes past the pocket. He tries to speed rush a lot, and when he can't get to that corner, and he doesn't have great bend either to be able to. He has decent bend, I guess, for his size. I think he's around 6'2", 243, maybe 248 if I'm not mistaken. This is all off memory, but so he doesn't have a ton of salt in his pants to really move bigger offensive tackles, especially NFL offensive tackles. You'll see playing against Steen here, the Vanderbilt transfer, and Steen handles him pretty easily most of the game. There are some positive aspects, but for the most part, and I mean, if you look at the box score, he probably had a decent game. He has a few tackles, and that's IDP, right? So sometimes the shittier the player, the better the IDP stats. But D end, you're more than a lot of positions. You're looking for super freaks, and I just don't see the super freak in this guy. Um, he, like I said, only a 32.5 vert, so that's a big sign of explosiveness. Not to say it's be all and end all though. He did have a decent broad jump of 10'6", which was good for sixth best as a D end, I believe. Um, decent Ben, but he's not ever going to be confused with like Will McDonald or uh, any of the better pass rushers in this class, to be honest with you. I'd more compare him to Isaiah Foskey, but they're both kind of stiff. But I give Foskey the nod on this, and actually, I used to think it was closer than it is after watching this the first go around. Um, and he's got some potential, but he'll never be great in my opinion. So he's outside of my top 10 D ends. He's falling outside of my top 12 as we speak. I'd let somebody else take him based on his name. He's more of a name than anything else, and I wouldn't touch him before like the 7th, 8th round in mixed leagues. He should try to develop a spin move. It could end up as a nice counter for him, but again, without that change of direction, it's going to be tough. He loses contain sometimes with over aggressive reads. So yeah, overall, not a huge fan. But let's
from the 20.
probably only be able to get to the first half.
Bama's first play tonight. Young looking to
Blah,
throw
blah,
over the middle, and he's got a man in the slot.
right there, they drop into coverage, it's a flat, and they ran a slant and in. Nothing he can really do about it. Right here, see, drops out of cover. This works. It's worked perfect for Bama. Here he is again. Stand up outside. Tries to crash down, puts his head down. Play goes away from him. Here he is here. Drops back into coverage. Here Gibbs. Find Cameron Latu over the middle. Another NFL draft pick. But you'll see here, like, he's a little bit Bambi on ice out here. Not terrible for his size by any stretch of the imagination. And I'm not saying, like, I could do any better as him. I mean, he's an SEC athlete here. I don't like this at all. He does end up making the tackle, but not great. And I don't know what the play call was, and I'm not going to pretend to sit here and tell you that, I'm an expert at the defensive end position or anything. But when you look at this, he just kind of accepted it. Bad play recognition in a way. Should have been, forcing it back inside where he has help. Play goes away from him there, and he stops playing basically. They let him go. They wanted him to do what he did there. He wanted the speed rush, and I don't really love that either. The way he took on that block from Latu, he could have used his hands, got off him, and actually made the tackle. I mean, he was there, and he might actually get. No, I don't think he should get credit for that at all. I mean, he touched him, and I really don't know if he'll get the assist or not. There he goes past the pocket. Bryce Young steps up. Watch his eyes look off to the right. He wants to go there. He's locked up. Then he creates. This is where he's so good. Nothing special. Nothing, like pretty easily handled. He does make a couple good plays. He gets held pretty bad on a couple plays as well. There's the dip and rip. Too slow. He's looking to get the ball to the left there to the tight end. Over here. He's double covered, and then that bracket comes off. Playing right into the old tackle's hand for the most part. Is dropped back into coverage again. Doing that a lot in this game. And there you see he's kind of a little bit awkward out there. That's to be expected. I'm not saying that it isn't for a defensive end and a guy his size, but also, maybe he's in on the tackle again on that in the stat sheet, but dropped him back again. Missed his pressure. He showed it initially. Now Gibbs has got to get out of there quicker. He's got to be able to recognize. Perkins is a stud. First year of college football. Young has protected. He tries to spin move there. Didn't get anywhere. Didn't get anywhere a lot this game. Around a twist there. That's nice. That's one of the nicest plays of the game. But that's more scheming than athleticism. I mean, I shouldn't say that. It's more scheme than that's nice though. That's not bad at all. Gets the pressure. He's responsible for that incompletion. I should watch and make sure that it was incomplete because I assume that it was. Yep. Okay. Oh, sorry about that. Don't love that. Obviously. Not much to write home about, unfortunately. Here he is over here, standing up on the edge again. Tries the same old thing. Just tries to beat him to the corner and bend around the corner, but he's just not special enough. This is a decent rep, decent bull rush, but again, he doesn't go anywhere. He's too small to really. That's nice. That's where I say I like his backside pursuit in the notes here. He covers some ground. He eats up space. He throws Jace McClellan aside there. You know, he was blocked, and running back had good position. Tried to swim him, couldn't do it. Throws him to the side. At least he's playing football. But where is he now? You know what I mean? Stopped his feet, watching somebody else make the play. See that a lot. There's McClellan getting loose.
Major Burns has got a lock up here in the backfield with McClellan. He stumbles right there and loses his footing. That creates the separation, and with everybody else in man-to-man, it becomes a foot.
What else can I say about him? He's just dropping down my rankings. I had him higher than I should have pre-NFL draft process, it seems. There, he's doing his job, forcing it back inside, but he should have been able to disengage. I think he was held, but he didn't really make a great effort. He's asked him. That's the tackle there. That's his, for sure. Let's see. Go back to the previous play. Here we go. That's either a whiff by the old tackle or he's just trying to get to the second level. So he got lucky there, but he's, you know, he made the play. When he's supposed to make plays, he makes plays, you know. When he's free, when they don't block him backside, he makes the play. When they whiff or when they go to the second level and hope that he extends himself, over pursues upfield past the pocket, he makes the play, but a lot of other times he's just being handled out here, like that last play. Not bad there, though. Like, he's got some push, just that he's, you know, in the 240 pounds. There he is again, making a tackle. So, you know, IDP purposes, he could, you know, he's going to get some tackles and people might say, oh, you were wrong. But overall, he's not special, you know, like, and I look for freaky athletes at edge. And, you know, it's not all about the sacks, but you definitely want somebody who's going to put up sacks. And I never see, like, I don't see double-digit sacks. I'm sure Jonathan Gannon is going to scheme him up well. I'm sure he's got a plan. You know, I think maybe the fact that he's able to drop back into coverage is what intrigues Gannon and just pass rushers in general. They're going to go off the board early and often. But I don't do that again here. Gave him a little bit of a hezzy. He's being held there big time. Give him a little bit of a hezzy. Gets upfield, tries to dip and rip, and he just doesn't get under. Doesn't bend, you know, well enough to get around it. They called the hold on the DB there instead of the old tackle, but Dale made it there. Just there's my timer, but we got one more play, I guess, of him here. Tries the same old move. Tries to get upfield and turn the corner with the dip and rip, but didn't work out. So once again, I'd rather let somebody else take him. And he's probably outside of my top 12 edge DN, but definitely outside of my top 10. I wouldn't touch him until late in a mixed draft, if at all. I'd probably let somebody else take him. But thanks for listening. And like and subscribe.
accelerates
if
or
you want to see more stuff like this. Thank you.